The Bears have signed 9 undrafted free agents. Today I'm tracking all of our UDFA signings, and I'm going to give you a brief breakdown of each player. I've went ahead and looked into all of them and packed it into one convenient quick video for you. So if 7 rounds in 3 days of the NFL draft wasn't enough, you've come to the right place. On top of signing an additional 9 UDFAs, we've also invited 4 more players to rookie minicamp for tryouts as well. I'm going to quickly cover our newest additions to the roster and comb through for any hidden gems among this UDFA class. Let's go ahead and get right into it. The first out of our undrafted free agent players that we signed that I want to talk about is athletic wide receiver J.P. Richardson. He spent his first 2 seasons in college at Oklahoma State, and he was named team captain as a sophomore. Due to changes in coaching, he transferred and spent his last 2 seasons at TCU playing alongside Jack Beck. He's 5'11", 192 pounds, and he ran a 5'4", 240. He has decent athleticism, scoring a 7.14 on the RAS. He's 23 years old. He had 57 catches for 733 yards and 2 TDs this season. He scored 9 TDs over the last 3 years and also served as TCU's primary punt returner last season, bringing some return versatility as well. Next up is Jade Walker out of Texas A&M. He gives us another big target in the wide receiver room. He's 6'3", but he can legit fly as well, running a 4.45 40-yard dash. He's also extremely athletic, scoring a 9.47 on his RAS score. So he's big, fast, and athletic. The traits are there, but his production has been lacking slightly. After transferring from JUCO, he spent the last 2 years at Texas A&M, and he definitely showed flashes of upside, but the consistency was lacking. His junior season was a bit more productive, but he put up 64 catches for 900+ yards and 4 TDs over the last 2 years. You gotta love his size and speed. It'll be fun to see what he brings to training camp. But then we signed 5 players for the defense, starting out with North Carolina linebacker Power Eckles, the 5'11", 237-pound thumping linebacker. He has decent speed, running a 4.7 340 with limited athleticism, scoring just a 4.64 on his RAS. He is an instinctive and hard-hitting linebacker, recording over 100 tackles in 2 of the last 3 years. He also had at least 1 interception every year and added 3 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and a pick 6 on his resume. His dad also played in the NFL after a career at Michigan State. Eckles is an instinctive and hard-hitting linebacker who's going to try to make the team in camp, but probably needs to make an impact on special teams. Then we get to Major Burns, the safety out of LSU, a really fun prospect here. He has the size, speed, and athleticism to make it in the NFL. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. He ran a 4.5 240, and he scored an 8.22 on his RAS score. He has the size and length to play corner. After being recruited as a cornerback in college, he ended up playing safety at LSU. He has a ton of confidence. He's a guy who plays with swagger, and he's physical and aggressive. Also a hard hitter who was a high school receiver, so he has some good ball skills as well. He does lack fluidity and coverage at times, but he has as much upside as any of the UDFAs we signed. I really like this guy, and I wouldn't overlook his chances of making the practice squad or even surprising and making the 53 if he has a big camp. Next up is Oregon safety Tyim Johnson, 5'10", 200 pounds. He lacks athleticism, but he does have decent speed. He's physical and a good tackler. He loves to come up and support the run game. He also understands run gaps, and he'll deliver some big-time hits to lay out ball carriers. He also has great ball skills, 6 career interceptions, and a track background, also being a 3-year starter at Oregon. He's definitely another sleeper to keep an eye on in camp this year. But then we're going to get into the trenches with defensive lineman Xavier Carlton from Cal. He's listed as a defensive end, but kind of similar to draft pick Shamar Turner, he moves all over the defensive line, and he brings a ton of scheme versatility. He gets off the line of scrimmage with a ton of burst, and he has a nice set of pass rush moves in his bag. Right now, he needs to continue adding power and strength, but he's a real developmental piece for the defensive line. He started his college in Utah, but transferred and played the last 2 years at Cal. He totaled 115 pressures, 18 sacks, and 24 tackles for loss over the last 3 years, including 9 sacks last season at Cal. So he was very productive. His biggest issues were missed tackles and penalties, but he offers intriguing upside for an undrafted guy. This is probably my favorite UDFA signing early on, a guy who could really make the roster after some time in the NFL and in the weight room. He reminds me a bit of Jamry Chromoff from last year. Keep an eye out for Xavier Carlton. But we signed another edge rusher who also flashes a lot of the similar traits. Jeremy Robinson out of Kansas. He's 6'2", 264 pounds, a speed rusher who did not test at the combine. He had 13 sacks and 24 tackles for loss over the last 3 years. He was a fifth-year senior who spent his entire college career at Kansas. He's at his best as a stand-up edge rusher, but he's another guy who brings more versatility. He lined up at multiple positions all over that Kansas D line, but he's a guy who has the frame and look of an NFL defensive lineman. He also utilizes his length well, and he plays with violence. His effort is also top-notch. This is another sleeper defensive lineman to keep an eye on in training camp. It's clear Dennis Allen loves versatility and being able to move guys around on the D line. But we also signed 2 special teamers. Kicker Jonathan Kim from Michigan State. This is a guy who spent 4 seasons in North Carolina as a backup before transferring and spending the last 2 years at Michigan State and really doing a great job there. He took advantage of that extra eligibility. Overall, he was 32 for 40 on field goals, but he has a big leg. He was 7 for 11 on kicks from 50-plus yards, and he hit the third longest kick in Michigan State history. In 2023, he nailed a 58-yard field goal. Even Cairo can't do that. This year, his longest was from 55, but he had a 6 field goal game against Iowa, including that 55-yarder. His big leg is sure to catch the eyes of some fans during camp. Right now, Cairo's contract makes it kind of hard to move on from him unless we want to eat the dead cap hit this year. It's much easier to move on from him in 2026, but this UDFA kicker, Jonathan Kim, maybe we could keep him around on the practice squad for a year. Wouldn't be a terrible idea, but he does intrigue me. Could he challenge Cairo in camp? Stay tuned, we'll find out. Lastly, it was Luke Elkin, a long snapper out of Iowa, and Hawkeyes are always tough players. And maybe we got ourselves a really good long snapper here. We also have Scott Daly on the roster, but it's possible Elkin can beat him out. Overall, it's a really intriguing group of UDFAs. To go with the 9 undrafted free agents we signed, the Bears have also invited 4 other players to rookie minicamp for tryouts. Linebacker Michael Batten out of Houston, edge Cole Nelson out of Virginia Tech, Gio Paez, the defensive tackle from LSU, and then a guard center prospect, Sebastian Perez out of Eastern Illinois. We'll keep an eye on those guys to see if any stand out during rookie minicamps. The UDFA period is not over yet, and there are still some big-name guys who haven't signed yet, so stay tuned. I also have my full draft recap coming later today, probably this evening, and I will break down any more undrafted players we sign. Remember to hit that like button for me. Stay tuned, and until next time, bear down.